What's up, Aquarius? Welcome to your reading. As you can see by the title, this is going to be your full 2022 forecast. I'm going to pull cards for every single month. Everything should be down in the description box, like little chapters and timestamps, so you can actually just jump to the month that you're looking for. But before we start, I do want to talk about the energies that 2022 will be bringing. So basically, 2022 is a number 6 year, so that means that the energy is that of the number 6. So basically, with the number 6 energy, it's about gifts and receiving, but it's also about giving as well. So it kind of sounds cliche, but there's a lot of back and forth in relationships that are going to be the focal point of this year. It also deals with the heart chakra, so you may need to unblock your heart chakra or learn more about it. A lot of people will be confronted when it comes to their relationships in all aspects: business, friends, themselves, all of the above. So there is a lot of love energy that is going to be needed and rewarded at this time, but there's also a lot of backlash that will be happening if you don't deal with yourself and others correctly. So if this year was a zodiac sign, it would be Leo. So like I said, a lot of exposure is going to be happening. So you really want to do your best to show the best side of yourself. But not just that, you want to be real to all sides of yourself. If there are bad sides, everybody has them, but let's work on them. So that way when it's your turn to be in the spotlight, you won't look like an asshole. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into your reading. I'm going to pull your spread and then I'm going to just jump in, all right? Well, January through December for Aquarius 2022. All right, Aquarius, so we do have quite a bit of twists and turns for you this year. That's definitely something I'm seeing. It looks like this is going to be a very eventful year for you. Yeah, it's just kind of all over the place. I'm trying to figure out where to start. When I was shuffling and pulling your cards, the word that I was hearing was roller coaster. So hold on to your seats for this one, okay, for this year. But we're going to tell you, it's a lot of good things. I don't want to scare you. It's a lot of good things, but it also is kind of like just a lot going on. All right, so keep in mind, Leo is your opposite sign. So a lot of you are going to be confronted with your opposite energy, which is usually a good thing if you are ready for that challenge. But for some of you who are fighting against the waves, it's going to be a very tiring year for you. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with January. So you have the light card. So this means that something that you've been kind of like hoping for, I don't want to say hope. It's almost like you have this resurgence of inspiration. And I feel like this is, maybe because your season is during January as well. So I think you're kind of feeling like, things are going to be different. This is a new year. That energy is definitely present, which is a good thing, because you would think a lot of people have that energy towards the new year, but you'd be surprised. So you actually go into the new year feeling very hopeful is what I see. 4 of Swords. You're taking some time to be to yourself. You're taking some time to have peace of mind, to center yourself, to meditate. And I think this is well needed. I think this is maybe a ritual for you. Like maybe you always do this. Like every year, in the beginning of the year, you take some time to yourself. Or maybe this is a new thing for you. Maybe you're always going out to party. So this year you're like, no. In the beginning of the year, I'm going to get myself together mentally so that I can actually achieve the things that I want to achieve. And I think that that's going to be really, really beneficial for you. February, which is also your season. A lot of February Aquariuses, I'm sure, are here. We have Rejoice and Celebration. So you will be going to functions that are very fun-loving, family, friends, having a good time, drinks, laughter. February is going to be really, really good for you. No worries, no issues. What I will say is just make sure that you're paying attention. That's the only thing. And some of you try not to overdo it with the alcohol or whatever vices that you partake in, because I am seeing that it could go a little overboard, but that's the only bad thing about it. Just don't have too much fun to where you're setting fires and don't realize that you need to put them out. All right. Yeah, you're also going to have a message of love coming from someone. I think that you're going to have like a little romantic fling, or maybe your relationships become more official. For some of you, you also could be getting married or going to a wedding or something like that. But that's for very few people. But I am seeing that there's going to be energy of you connecting with someone on a very fun level. Okay. March, we have mental conflicts. So during March, you are going to be kind of challenging yourself mentally. Obviously, this is not one of the best cards, but what this does mean is that there's something in your environment that does need to be kind of plucked, if that makes sense. So in other words, you may not want to confront something, but your spirit, or your psyche rather, is saying, I don't know, like something needs to happen about this. Like we can't just keep letting whatever this is slide. What is this in regards to? Two of Cups. So it definitely could be about your love life. I think you're trying to make a decision, or some of you are being very impatient about the way that things are going within your love life. The Two of Cups, obviously it can be about love, like your actual relationship, but a lot of times what the Two of Cups on a deeper level is saying is that you feel like what you're waiting for has not arrived yet when it comes to your relationship life. And usually that means it's something that you need to fix within yourself. And I think that's where that mental conflict is coming, because you have two number twos here. Both cards are the number 2 card. So this is letting me know that something that you're relating to, or something within yourself, you're projecting that, or you're finding that in other people, and it's a negative aspect. And I think if you work on that that situation, it'll kind of clear itself up, but you're ignoring it and it's starting to frustrate you. Two of Wands, so another number 2 card. So it's also about choosing what you want and understanding what you want. I feel like you keep encountering these people and you're like, why can't I find the right person? Or maybe you are having a hard time committing to that person because you're afraid of things not working out, but it's something within yourself. So I really would advise you to confront yourself on this matter. I'm actually going to give you an advice card, because I think this is an actual big situation that needs to be confronted. And it's like the sooner you do it, the faster you can get through a lot of the bullshit that this month is going to be presenting to you to make you fix your situations. For some of you, I'm getting the message that it's as simple as you finally choosing who you want to be with, instead of just having your choices up in the air. Like it's time for you to commit to something. We have the 3 of Cups. So I think Spirit is saying that you need to go ahead and enjoy yourself instead of picking out all the negative things. Okay, that's the first step to it. Figure out what makes you figure out what you enjoy, who you enjoy being around. Figure out what makes you happy, what makes you feel good and comfortable, because I feel like when you can figure out your comfort zones, it's easier for you to navigate everything else. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to April. So April, you have spiritual union. So during April, you will have an encounter. I believe a lot of you will be sexually, but it's going to be like well, the card is spiritual union, but I feel like it's going to be like a soul tie or a soul mate type of energy. Now keep in mind that is not always a good thing. But I think if you do the work that you were supposed to do in March, come April with the spiritual union, you'll realize who your match is for this time in your life. All right, let's get some more information on that. Beautiful energy. It's a very, very deep card. You'll know the situation when it comes up in your life. That's what I'm saying. Do the work and you'll see the results very quickly. That's what 2022 is all about. Giving and receiving. All right, so you have the 9 of Cups. So I see that you are extremely magnetic to who you want. Like you're able to attract who you want into your life. So I want you to be very careful with this, because this means that you have a lot of power during this month. And it means that if you focus on wanting someone who just looks good on the outside, that's what you're going to get. But if you focus on someone who is your match from what God would deem good for you, then that's who you're going to attract during this time. But it's going to take you working on yourself first. It always starts with you. Whoever you want to see in your life, qualities that you want to be shown, you have to show that for yourself. You understand? Because that's how you attract them. So this 9 of Cups energy is definitely tied to, I feel like, your emotions. And I feel like for Aquariuses, obviously everyone has emotions, but as far as expressing them, that's what you're going to have to do in order to attract that person to you. So if you feel a certain way about someone, you're going to have to speak up. If you feel like something is not working, you're going to have to speak up. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to attract who or what you want in your life. So that's a major theme that I'm seeing for you. It's about putting out what you want to receive, all right? And taking it serious instead of just thinking, you know, that you don't have the power to make it happen, because you do. You have a lot of power, and that's kind of the issue. So make sure you're trying to attract what you truly want and not what you think is, you know, the best logical answer. So during May, we have hope. So this energy of hope is pretty self-explanatory. I do want to see what it's in regards to. So there's some sort of hope that has been restored during May. King of Cups. So it is about your relationship life and also your spiritual connection. So the person that you are beginning to, it's almost like you have faith in relationships again, just in general, like love, like you believe that love exists again, or you believe that relationships can exist, healthy relationships. Your relationship with spirit begins to deepen. I feel like usually this happens because there's a perspective shift. So something happens to you, whether you feel like it's negative or positive, that gives you the confirmation that you can direct more of your life than you feel like you can. And also within your career as well. Within your career as well, you start to have a little bit more hope that things can improve or things are improving. All right, so June, we have memories of love. So with June, you will be reunited with someone. It could be romantic, or it could just be like a family member or a friend. But you are going to have some sort of reuniting with the person from your past. Or I'm also getting the message you may be receiving a gift, or you smell something or you eat something that reminds you of something that happened from when you were younger in a positive way. Okay, let's see what this deals with. For some reason, this is huge. So we have 2 number 6s here. So you're going to be receiving a gift. The gift, I feel, it could be physical, but the gift is almost like a nod or a wink from God. The 6 of Swords is here. So this lets me know that you're going to be, like, everything is going to be kind of pushing you towards where you need to go on an emotional and mental level. And it's almost as though you feel like it's angels or your ancestors or just something like your guardian angel pushing you towards something. But it's really just, it's supposed to be a reminder, but it's really a gift. So there's something that you need to feel or you need to see. Messages that you will be receiving from, you know, the spirit realm or whatever you want to call it. But it's a nod from the universe of, okay, you can do this. Or it's going to remind you that there's something more to all of this that's happening. And I feel like it does have a lot to do with your connection to love in all aspects. It's your connection to not being so numb or robotic to emotions. So it's going to be really big for you. It definitely could be just a person from your past that you really admire coming through. It's a gift though. It definitely is. The Fool. So it could be an Aries or just someone that is fresh, new, vibrant, a very good energy. Someone from your past that could act totally different but in a good way. It looks like there's also this energy of freedom, independence, a carefree kind of attitude, allowing yourself to just feel and be in the moment. That is coming towards you. Whether it's you see a video of yourself from when you were little, when you used to be a little bit more free, or you encounter someone from your past who reminds you kind of who you are, you know, at your core, your childlike self. So, but what I'm saying is all of that is going to be a message for you that only you will understand. Even that person may not even understand why them coming to you is such a monumental moment in your life. All right, so we have July. You have Triumph. So you definitely get over something that you have been struggling with, knowingly or unknowingly, but you get through it and you are victorious, obviously. For a lot of you, it's about your career life, and it's about nurturing what you want to see your career look like. So you get over something, or maybe you get through a rut, or maybe you feel like you're finally moving up in a job situation that you feel like was unfair. I see that you're actually being bold and you're using what you're passionate about instead of just allowing life to just push you around in regards to your careers or your passions. All right. Yeah. And then we have 10 of Cups. So you're actually happy, truly, truly happy. And this is, it stems from your career, but for a lot of you, your career has a lot to do with how you treat everything else in your life. And I feel like once that happiness starts from work, it kind of trickles into everything else. And so you are the victor. You are victorious because of that. All right. August, we have Power. So you just get stronger and stronger throughout this year is what I'm seeing. August is saying with Power, you have the courage to do something. So something that you usually are afraid to do, you are seeing that issue and you're looking it in the eye and you're like, you're not going to defeat me anymore. So let's see what this is in regards to. Prince of Swords. So your mindset, it also could be you yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, there's something that you constantly battle with. It could be, I the word I'm getting is self-sabotage. Like, I feel like some of you may be afraid of success. You don't want someone else to ruin your progression, so you cause your own demise. So for example, if you know something good's going to happen, you either put yourself in a negative thought space to where you feel like something bad is going to happen, or you get too wild and too energetic, and then somehow, some way you say something that puts you in a bad situation, or you do something that doesn't look good on your character and you burn a bridge. It's something like that. But I feel like for some reason during August, you realize that problem that you have, and you start to actually want to work on it, and you do work on it. You don't run away from it. You don't pretend it's not there. You face it. Yes, Prince of Wands. And you use the opposite energy instead of trying to be logical, and you use this energy of attacking the problem, going after it, digging through the situation. And I think because it is Leo season during this time, you're using that Leo energy, which is opposite of you, like I was speaking of before, and really going and attacking the situation, making your mind a weapon in a positive way instead of a weapon against yourself, if that makes sense. So you are defeating something within yourself that needs to be slayed. It's a negative aspect of yourself that I feel like you are easily conquering, because you just finally look at it and you say, no, we're not doing this anymore. Like, I want to do better. September, we have disruption. So with any type of shadow work that's happening, because that's what I feel like is happening around this time of the year for you, there will be things that have to start resetting itself. So you will have some disruptions, but these disruptions are just kind of, it's life's way of plucking out the things that you don't need. And a lot of times it will feel weird because it's been placed in your life for so long, but things will start to be shifty around. We have the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune. So this disruption is only pushing you and putting you on your path to success, and I need you to understand that. This disruption is a part of your full life cycle, and this is going to be a very monumental moment in your life, not just this year, but for the rest of your life. You will see, when you look back, you will see that this particular month of September had a major impact on the rest of your life, okay? So I need you to take it in stride. I need you to understand that this ride is something that you must endure. And it doesn't have to be extremely scary. It's just a matter of allowing life to do its thing. And knowing that this is a part of something good, no matter how scary it may feel. Because it is going to take you out of your comfort zone, and as a fixed sign, that can be very daunting. But this is for your greater good, and things will shift very, very quickly. October, solar plexus chakra. So your self-esteem, your confidence, your ego are going to be addressed at this time. Now, usually this is a really good thing. I would encourage you to actually learn about the solar plexus chakra during this time so you can understand what energies you are feeling. You are going to be getting a lot of attention, and people are going to start seeing your light shine if you've been working on yourself. Especially because after the disruption that you had in September, during October, usually I feel like things are going to kind of fall into place rather. So you are going to be getting a lot of attention, but hopefully it's for good things. But that's going to depend on how you're using this energy, because you're going to feel a lot of energy during this time. This is a good time for you to really focus on self-love and enhancing that and understanding what that means for you. We have the Hangman. So there's going to be a lot of pausing happening during this time. A lot of waiting on answers from spirit, from whatever you're getting your answers from. Ace of Cups. But this is going to be the healing process that you need. There's also going to be a sense of you starting new, refreshing a lot of things. Whatever your environment is that you live in, I encourage you to do a lot of cleansing, a lot of spiritual baths on yourself as well. You also will be encountering a new philosophy in your life that is going to help you understand who you are at this point in your life. It may not be with you forever, but you're going to encounter a new spiritual understanding of things. And it's going to be a very magical moment in your year and in your life, but it's going to feel like time is moving very slow. So use that time wisely, because it's going to feel kind of intense, okay? November, we have Trapped in Fear. So some of you, or a majority of you, will probably have this energy of, now that you have all of this insight, you're like, what do I do with it? Am I allowed to do anything with all of this insight that I've received? And really what you're doing, it seems like you're putting yourself in a negative loop pattern. So this is going to be the test from source to see if you have learned enough to where you can walk out of a cycle that you no longer need to be a part of. So this is kind of the last hurrah of this test, of this self-analyzation process that you're going through, this strength and conditioning process that you're going through spiritually. Yeah, because you see that there's disappointment. I think you're starting to realize that there is a lot of hurts involved in a lot of the situations that you have been a part of for years. And there's a lot of confrontation that must happen. Four of Cups. You're still seeing things from a negative perspective, and that's the problem. There's a lot of things where, yeah, it sucked how this happened, or whatever situations you're going through. It's fucked up that people can do you wrong, or it's fucked up that you probably did yourself wrong for all these years. But the thing that you have to do is acknowledge it, forgive yourself, and give yourself a second chance. There's no use in just sitting with that energy of self-loathing. You understand what I'm saying? And learn. Try to figure out what is the lesson. I feel like, at least for myself, when we go through situations that are very shitty, it's really easy to stay stuck in that. And while you need to acknowledge that for the process of healing, you still have to look at and be like, okay, what was the lesson? Because whether you feel like it was someone else's fault, or if you know it was your fault, what can we learn from this so that this doesn't happen again, and so that you can get through that energy that you're a part of at this time? All right, so what's the advice for Aquarius during November? So the world basically says you've done all that you can do with this situation. Some people, you need to give yourself a break and go celebrate. Some people, it's more about time will heal all. For some people, the world is trying to tell you that chapter has ended, let's move forward. That's what it's saying. It's time to get out of that time loop. If you don't like what has happened, if you're tired of the situations that you have been going through, it's time to walk out of that loop, the cycle that you've been a part of. That is the only way this is going to stop for you. For a lot of you, this is a karmic situation that you have to kind of address and complete and clear so that you can move forward. Now, December, the last month of this year, we have Love Begins, which is a tremendous way to end this year. Love Begins. I feel like you finally get to a point where you love yourself unconditionally. You love, or you value those that love you, and it's reciprocated. For a lot of you, it could also just be a new love person in your life. A person who truly does love you. Yeah, we got the lovers. So this means to me that yes, you most likely will have the person that you want to be with in your life at this time, whether you know this or not. They're here. But this also is a reflection and a reward because you worked on yourself, and it's shown. This whole year has been basically about you learning to love yourself. And this situation is going to be there's a lot that's going to be going on. You may have your hands full, but I feel like this person is also going to be there to kind of give you a balanced relationship, because I feel like for a lot of you, it has not always been that way. So a lot of you will also be dealing with a lot of like sharing responsibilities, moving in together, talking about the future with what you want to build and what you want to have, and expressing your mind state, but also having someone who can bounce off of that, and vice versa. There's a lot of back and forth. And I feel like you're ending the year with what this year is to represent. Relationships, boundaries, love, self-love, ego, notoriety, attention. All of that is coming for you during the month of December. So yeah, so a lot of good things happening for you, Aquarius. I feel like this is a full circle moment year for you. I think you will see what I mean as far as like the faster you deal with yourself, the easier and the better that this year is going to be for you. That's your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this beautiful reading for you. Good luck in all your endeavors during 2022 and beyond. And I'll see you in your next reading. Bye, Aquarius.